Imagine someone is trying to break into a secure building. As they step inside, one security system notices the suspicious movement and quietly sends an alert to a monitoring desk. Meanwhile, another system immediately triggers a heavy metal security gate that drops from the ceiling, physically trapping the intruder before they can take another step. Many people start their cybersecurity journey thinking that a firewall is the only tool needed to keep a network safe. Think of a firewall like a security guard standing at the front entrance of a shopping mall. The guard's job is to check IDs and see who is allowed inside based on a strict set of rules. But if someone has a valid ID, the guard lets them walk right through the door. If that person intends to steal something once they are already inside the mall, the front door guard won't be able to stop them. To catch threats that have already bypassed the perimeter, you need specialized security systems working inside the building. Let's look at the first interior system. Imagine a security camera scanning the aisles of that shopping mall. It spots a shoplifter slipping a watch into their pocket and instantly radios the security desk to report the incident. This is exactly what an IDS, or intrusion detection system, does for a network. It stays in the background, watching every piece of data that moves through your system, and it generates an alert the moment it sees something suspicious. It observes and it reports. Now imagine a different system. Instead of just a camera on the ceiling, there is a physical guard actively patrolling the hallway. When they see the shoplifter, they run over and physically grab them. This active role belongs to the IPS, or intrusion prevention system. Like the camera, it watches for the same suspicious activity, but it has the authority to step in and physically block the threat the moment it happens. On a real network, these systems inspect thousands of tiny pieces of data called packets every second. Most are normal web browsing or emails, but an IDS or IPS looks for malicious activity, like a program rapidly guessing passwords. Both systems identify the threat, but only the IPS can drop a barrier and stop the attacker mid-stride. The IDS simply sends a warning to the security team. With millions of normal packets flying by every minute, how do these systems actually spot an attack? The first method is signature-based detection. Think of this like a facial recognition system at the airport. The software has a database of digital mugshots belonging to known hackers and viruses. When it scans network traffic, it checks to see if the data matches any of those mugshots. This is highly effective for identifying past offenders, but it doesn't work if a thief shows up in a brand new disguise that isn't in the database yet. To solve that, we use anomaly-based detection. Instead of memorizing faces, this system learns what normal, everyday behavior looks like for your specific network, and then watches for anything that looks out of place. This chart shows the difference. Look at the tiny baseline activity, a computer normally sending small emails during the day. Then look at the sudden, massive spike at 3 in the morning. That computer is suddenly trying to transmit enormous amounts of data overseas. The system may not recognize the specific virus causing that spike, but it flags the behavior as abnormal. By pairing these two methods together, networks can catch documented criminals while also flagging suspicious, never-before-seen behavior. Since the prevention system can automatically block threats, it might seem like the best move is to let it block anything that looks even slightly suspicious. But that creates a risk called a false positive. This happens when the security system misinterprets a safe, normal action as a malicious attack. If a prevention system is too aggressive, it could block thousands of legitimate customers from accessing a website just because a routine software update looked suspicious. This diagram shows why the risk depends on where these systems are placed. The IDS branches off to the side to receive a harmless copy of the traffic. If it makes a mistake, it only generates a false alarm. But the IPS sits directly in the middle of the main pipeline. If it makes a mistake, it severs the connection entirely. Because a severed connection can stop a business from working, organizations often deploy a system in a monitoring-only mode first. This lets the security team verify its accuracy before giving it permission to automatically block traffic. Cybersecurity is a delicate balance. The goal is to aggressively stop actual threats without accidentally shutting down the legitimate operations of the company. To summarize, the firewall checks the IDs at the door and asks, "Are you allowed in?" The IDS watches the interior and asks, "Are you acting suspicious?" And the IPS stands in the hallway and asks, "Are you dangerous enough that I should physically stop you right now?" While these automated layers block thousands of attacks every day, the landscape changes constantly. Attackers are always looking for ways to slip past both signature databases and anomaly detectors. This is why human SOC analysts are necessary. They manually investigate the alerts generated by these systems to determine if a real attack occurred, or if it was just a false alarm. Do you think automated security systems will eventually become smart enough to stop all cyber attacks on their own, or will human analysts always be required to make the final call? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because no detection system is perfect, the next step in a strong defense is learning how to divide the building itself. In our next lesson, we will explore network segmentation and see how building internal walls can trap hackers and stop them from moving freely once they get inside.